guys, FHG here with some more Summoner's Glory, and today we're looking at something pretty cool that I found out yesterday about the game. So when you're actually looking in the activity and looking at this Anabias, a lot of players do not have the heroes that are required. So we'll go ahead, we'll collect up all these. So ultimately, I guess I never realized this or just never seen it. So when you're actually going in here and filling out your quest, taking your quest, it requires 4 heroes. So here is the recommended 4 heroes that you have. Unfortunately, if you don't have those 4 heroes, you can actually use copies of the same hero. For instance, we'll come down here and looking at our Idol of Evil, we need him at an A rank. That is right, if you use him at an S, if you use him at an S+, does not count for ideal. But if I use him at an A, there's my 25. I was actually going to all of these different heroes, making sure I could find them. But actually, if I have an A, I can use 2, 50%, 75%, 100% to go ahead and get that ideal completion. So that gives me 2 hours on the cooldown. So again, ultimately, I was going through and I was picking out the heroes that it said here. I didn't have Arthur, so I was choosing other heroes. And this was actually how I found out this works, is when I didn't have Arthur in this formation, I went down and looked at my A hero here. I added just another one to fill out 4, and it worked just like that. Ideal. We got all 4 of them. So just little tips and tricks. And I'll also show you one more that I've been kind of working on with the Trove. We know the Trove is an absolute diamond sink, but it can be very beneficial. And I really want to get your guys' input on your thoughts. So essentially within the Trove, it costs you diamond to update. It also costs you 50 to start the game. So ultimately picking up a item out of here for 50 gems. If you use it a second time, it is 50 gems. If you use it a third time, it is 100 gems. And then it goes up to 200 of our diamonds up here, which can be very, very expensive. So in turn, what I've actually been doing with the Trove is I have been farming enchantments. So enchantments are very, very difficult to come by, and they are really unique, meaning that I believe you can get them out of treasure maps. I did a ton of treasure maps, never got a enchantment out of there. So unfortunately, I didn't get any of the enchantments out of there. You can also get them in the shop. So out of here, the blacksmith or the glory right here within the activity contains a random fragment for 500 of our arena tokens. I get 10 a day. So it's going to take me forever to get enchantments, guys. Honestly, to get them, especially getting multiple copies of them and getting those enchantments leveled up to where we want them to be, is going to be super, super difficult because that is really expensive. I'm talking weeks, probably a month, if not longer, especially if I'm not in the top 10 for PvP. But ultimately, it's going to take a long time to get the fragments. The other place that you can pick them up is, of course, you can just go ahead and buy them. $4.99 each, you can go ahead and pick up a random fragment. But what I've been doing, and may not be the smartest, but I've actually been going to the Trove. We'll just update it here. Look to see if we have an enchantment in here. If I don't, I just go ahead and refresh it. Unfortunately, don't see one there. It does take a couple times, but enchantments do pop up in here. I've already gotten 3 enchantments, and this is essentially what I've been saving my diamonds for, is to get the enchantments up. I know I can level up my heroes. I know I can go through the tower. I know just buying vigor pots do increase your level, but I'm thinking long-term for this game, possibly going through and getting the enchantments out of here, because essentially there is not going to be another way that I'm going to get them. And I'm hoping I find one in here pretty soon. Usually it just takes a couple refreshes and then I've seen one pop up. Like I said, I've gotten 3 out of here so far. So ultimately this was the way. Again, I know it is probably a very inefficient or a very expensive way, but ultimately if you do get one in here pretty early, because remember this resets every 1 hour. So if you're checking this on a regular basis, you could possibly see just an enchantment pop up in here. So you can go ahead and do your summons to pick it up. And again, I really haven't had to refresh this much to find an enchantment, but ultimately this is how I'm going about getting them. And hopefully with a couple more, we can see one here, which the gear ultimately not really worth getting. The 100 diamonds, you're probably not going to get it off of the first one. Some of the boost stones I have gotten relatively early, but a majority of the time, everything in here as you continue to summon again and again and again. As you're leveling up that mastery level, you do need to go in here and do a lot of summons within the Trove. And it looks like we're going to have bad luck today, guys. Putting a lot of diamonds just into the refresh here. So hoping we can pull an enchantment, which I am not seeing one yet. But ultimately, it does take more enchantments every level that you're increasing the enchantment to. So it's going to get more and more costly as you continue to go through on these enchantments. I'm not seeing one in here yet. And like I said, I got a couple of them yesterday, so I figured it would be maybe not this rare. Come on, we got to find at least one in here before we run out of diamonds. Would really be ideal. The rank 2 fire spirits are not worth it. So most of the stuff that you get inside the Trove overall is not worth it. But like I said, I haven't figured out another way to pull enchantments out of here, or any other way that I can essentially get enchantments short of refreshing this. Once we get down to usually about 1,000 diamonds, I'll stop if we haven't seen any enchantments yet. Got some diamonds, got some more spirits in there. Dragon helmet, and I think it knows that I'm looking for enchantments, and that's why it's there we go. So there is Raging Fury, one that I definitely want to get. So we'll go ahead, we'll start the Trove. So it did cost us, unfortunately, it looks like a couple hundred diamonds to get the enchantment. But again, I don't know any other way to pull the enchantment. So guys, if you know a much better way, a much easier way, a much cheaper way of pulling the enchantment, especially with it being so time consuming, I'm hoping that I can pull it out of here before we pull everything else, because we are really short on diamonds, guys. We only got one more reset. There we go, we got it. So very expensive, but ultimately, guys, again, I don't know any other way to pull out the Raging Fury. So like I was saying, we pulled a couple of them. So look in here, we have one copy of Raging Fury. I have one of Divine Production. We have one of Thorn Shackles. So ultimately going through and picking those up to build up our enchantments. Again, that is the only method that I know to pull them. But even looking here at Fire Shadow, Divine Fury, I need 2 of them. That is right, guys. To go to level 2, I need 2. And then going up past that, past 2, only increases the amount of essential enchantment mats that you need. So as this level goes up, so once we go to the next level, it costs 6 to cast. But I believe this goes from 1 to 2. When you get it to level 2, it goes to 4, and so on and so forth. Until you really get these enchantments built. I feel like they really can turn the tide of battle with building up these enchantments. So again, guys, if you know a more efficient, a better way to get those, definitely please let me know. Getting some achievements there, fixing up to get the next 3-star for the mastery level. So again, guys, if you know a cheaper way to pick up those masteries, please let me know. And as always, thank you guys for watching.